Good morning. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from Trading Best Trade Academy. And my name is Dele Ayimibo. We'll continue our conversation on Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. The fact that Nigerian states have all they need to survive, but Nigerian state has not been able to survive. They are living in debt. We are in part 62 of export-driven youth empowerment and income generation potential, but today we are looking at Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State pride itself as the home of solid minerals. Nasarawa State pride himself as the home of solid minerals. Basically saying that if you are thinking of minerals in Nigeria, come to Nasarawa State. My question for the leader of that state is this: what have you done with the minerals in your state? What have you done with the minerals in your state? What have you done with the minerals in your state? This is very important. Sorry. Many have really not done much with the minerals in their state. They've only been giving excuses. And the state left them to continue to give excuses when they are hired to fix the issues. Why do we need a governor in a state if all the governor will come and tell us is the reason why he's unable to do the job he promised to do? He has all the machinery of the state. He has all the resources of the state to carry out the assignment we have given him to do. But you know what? Oh, story every day. Those stories not working. Don't tell us the reason why you can't do what we have hired you to do. You have been hired to do this job. Please just do it. You have been hired to do this job. Please just do it. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything needs to survive, but alas, Nigerian state have been unable to survive. Why? The handlers of the economy of each state in Nigeria have only been giving us excuses. And the citizens also have allowed them to continue to give excuses. How can a state like Nasarawa State says is the state home of solid minerals when some nation depends solely on those minerals for sustenance, and Nasarawa State is struggling and barely surviving? Nasarawa State is struggling and barely surviving. For example, Nasarawa State generated 55 billion last year and is owing more than 100 billion. Nasarawa State generated 55 billion last year and the state is owing more than 100 billion. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. But this state is owing so much. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. But this state is owing so much. Why is the state owing so much? The handlers of the economy don't have a clue. The handlers of the economy don't have a clue on what to do and how to do it. A state that prides itself as home of solid minerals cannot boast of 100 billion naira income generation in a year. Probably Ogun State, that is not priding itself as the whole of almost Southern Mineral, is probably even making more money than this our state. Our state in Nasarawa State. What are the raw materials available in Nasarawa State? Gemstone, cassiterite, amethyst, beryl, emerald, sapphire, topaz, barite, galena, zircon, coal. Agro, sesame seed, maize, groundnut, yam, guinea corn, millet, cassava, rice, cotton, sweet potato, fruits, sugarcane. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything needs to survive, but alas, Nigerian state is yet unable to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything needs to survive, but alas, Nigerian state has been unable to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything to survive, but Nigerian state is yet to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything to survive, but Nigerian state is yet to survive. Why? Why? Simply because the handlers of the economy don't know what to do. Look at what I just read out to you. If you have been following this program, you know that all that state have is in billions of dollars. All that state have is in billions of dollars. How come? How come? How come this state are impoverished? If you check up sorry. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'm having some issues. Having some some people not doing what they're supposed to do, and I need to get a message across to them. If you imagine the volume and the quantity and the quantum of product this state have. Let's check the budget of this state, please. Let's check the budget of this place, please. What is the budget of Nasarawa State? 86 billion. I'm impressed with the budget of Nasarawa State. I'm impressed. I'm impressed because it's just about 15% of the income of the state. And I've said 25% rather. There's no reason why a state making 55 billion and saying his budget is 120, 150, 200 billion. That means you are just presenting paper. You don't have the mind or plan to execute that. You are just, it's just a political jamboree. Just to show that, okay, our state also have presented budget. Just like a state that is presenting a $1 trillion budget and its income is less than 100 billion. I don't get it. I don't get it. On what basis now? And when they are going to use that money to create stuff in the state, it's just to create job, not designing a way for the state to make money by exporting and selling as a state. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has every need to survive, but alas, Nigerian state have been unable to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has every need to survive. Nigerian state has every need to survive, but alas, Nigerian state is already survived. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. This state is planning to spend 86 billion this year, and last year his income was 55 billion. 55 billion. But you know what? This state can do much more than it's doing. This state can do much more than it's doing. This state can do much more than it's doing. So why is the state unable to do much? The state has been unable to do much simply because the handlers of the economy don't seem to know what they want. They probably don't have an idea of how to grow the state. But anyway, let's go through the product we have in stock, the product we're analyzing for this state this week, today rather. And the product we're analyzing for this state is actually sesame seed. The beauty of sesame seed is that sesame seed alone, if cultivated on half of the land in Nasarawa state, will generate, the beauty of sesame is that it's an arable crop. I can cultivate it twice a year if I do irrigation, and that means this state can generate over 200 billion because it can generate about 125 billion in a year if it cultivates once. If it decides to apply wisdom and cultivate twice, this state can generate much more. The state also IGR currently stood at 15%. These are states in Nigeria that can never survive without the contribution from the center. The arable land mass of this state called Nasarawa State is 1,041,000 hectares. Half of that is 520,000 hectares. At a yield per hectare of 1 metric tons, we can generate 520,000 metric tons of sesame seed from Nasarawa State alone. If the FOB price is 1,000, we can sell and generate $520 million. The $520 million, if you subtract from it cost of farming, about 40 billion, based on 60,000 per hectare at the profit of 30%, and the cost of farming of 50,000 per metric tons, with the cost of exporting being 26 billion for 520 metric tons. A total cost of $66 billion, naira, minus 187. Minus 187 revenue or income. We end up at a total, the profit of 120 billion, plus the IGR of the state 125 billion. This state called Nasarawa State can generate much more than you can imagine. Can you imagine? This state budget is 86 billion. But sesame seed alone, if cultivated on half of the arable land of this state, can generate almost times 2 of that. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has every need to survive. But Nigerian state has been unable to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has every need to survive. But Nigerian state has been unable to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything it needs to survive. I emphasize this at every program so as to sink it deep down in the ears of our listener. Don't let anybody tell you that any state in Nigeria is poor. The state is not poor. It is the handler of the economy that don't know what they are doing. The state is not poor. It is the handler of the economy that don't know what they are doing. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything it needs to survive. But Nigerian state has not been able to survive. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything need to survive. Don't tell me that Nigerian state cannot survive. Let's go through other things that this state have. What are the other things that this state have in stock? What are the other opportunities available in this state? This state have humongous opportunity that we have neglected. The state governor of this state is called Abdullahi Sule. Abdullahi Sule, an APC governor. Kindly look at this and do something about it. Kindly look at this and do something about it. We cannot continue to live like this. We cannot continue to live like this. Nigerian state have everything need to survive. It's an aberration that Nigerian state has not been able to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything need to survive. But alas, Nigerian state has been unable to survive. Can we look at other things in this state? Number one, this state produces rice. Rice is a $20 billion market. And the buyers are China, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iraq, Iran, Bangladesh, South Korea, Japan, Sri Lanka, United Kingdom, United States, Mexico, Brazil, and for Africa, $4.7 billion. $4.7 billion worth. $4.7 billion worth. $4.7 billion worth is imported in Africa. Africa has taken up about 25% of rice consumption in the world. Rice export in the world. 25%. That means We don't need to look far. Don't go too far. Right on the African soil. Right on the African soil. Right here in Africa, this state called Nigerian state can generate billions of dollars in the export of rice. Can generate billions of dollars in the export of rice. Can generate billions of dollars in the export of rice. Remember, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything it needs to survive. But Nigerian state has been able to survive. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything to survive, but alas, Nigerian state has been able to survive. Why? The handlers of the economy don't have a clue. The handlers of the economy don't have a clue. What of granite? $2.89 billion. The market of granite, $2.89 billion. The market of granite is $2.89 billion. So, how do we fix this? Who are those buying? Who should we be targeting? Netherlands, United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, Russia, Spain, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, Philippines, Thailand, Mexico, Algeria are all major buyers of granite. Are all major buyer of granite. Remember, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Remember, they have everything they need to survive. And also remember, they have refused to explore the opportunity and the potential they have for survival. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything they need to survive. What else can this state export? Sugarcane. $15.5 billion. Who are the buyer? Indonesia, China, Bangladesh, Malaysia, India, Iraq, United States, Egypt, Algeria, UAE, Iran. Out of the 15.5 billion, about 20%, 3.27 billion, is to be sold in Africa alone. Are to be sold in Africa alone. Are to be sold in Africa alone. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state has everything needs to survive. But alas, Nigerian state has not been able to survive. The next one, sesame seed. The one we focused on this morning. Sesame seed. The one we focused on this morning. Who are the major buyers of sesame seed in the world? China, Turkey, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, India, Egypt, Germany, Greece, United States, and Mexico are major buyer of sesame seed. If your sesame seed is good enough, you have enough buyers. And the state government can take it up to ensure the quality is maintained, cleaning is done, so that we can have a good product for export in Nigeria. Remember, Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have everything to survive, but Nigerian state has not been able to survive. Before I go, let's talk about cassava. Don't look elsewhere for your cassava. National state, look at China, 63%. United States, 5%. UK, 5.2%. Netherlands, 4.1%. Major shipper or importer of cassava is China. So if you are going to export to China, it has to be efficient. And like I said, it can be worked out. if there is a plan, singleness of purpose on behalf of the handlers of the economy of our state. Lastly, before I go this morning, precious stone. This is not an agri product, but I thought it necessary because there are so many precious stones in this state. So many precious stones in this state. India, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Switzerland, Italy, Germany, France, and United States are your market if you are thinking of exporting precious stone. Thank you very much for listening again this morning. My name is Dele Ayemibo. See you in the evening as I move on to another state. And that will be Niger State. Niger State. Bye for now.